Hello everyone, it's Brenda Vines here from Zytex, and I'm doing this video today to help those of you who have chosen home insemination with Zytex. So basically you're going to receive a large box at your doorstep that looks like this, and now you've got your box, so now what do I do? Hopefully at the end of this video you'll feel a little more comfortable with what to do with the box and the contents. The first thing you need to do is bring the box to a place that you have access to a flat surface. Gather the things that you're going to need to do your insemination and to open the box. One of those things is scissors. The other thing is some fairly heavy gloves. I've got winter gloves here, but you can use gardening gloves or work gloves, whatever you happen to have on hand. I also like to have a little bit of paper towel because when you're starting to thaw the vial, you get a little condensation and it's just a little easier to handle the vial with the condensation. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is take your scissors and open the box. So it's going to be all taped up. I've already cut the tapes just for the video's sake. So let's open it up and see what we've got. On the top, there's going to be a little cardboard tray that will hold all your information. So the first thing you'll see is some FedEx information. This is for returning the vial to Zytex. So you can just set that aside for now. Don't lose it because you will need that when you go to ship the tank back. Next thing you're going to see is some home insemination thaw instructions and also some questions and answers that we get regularly about home insemination. Have a read through these before you go any farther, and if you still have questions, you can give the number a call on the page. So we have that, and then we have envelope with what we call our packing slip. So this will contain all the information that you need to verify that what you ordered is in fact in the tank and also matches your information. So on here is going to be the donor number, the lot number, which is a letter and then 3 numbers, your information, your name, date of birth, and what have you. So just keep this handy, but you can set that aside for now. And last but not least, we've provided a needleless syringe, which you can use to do the drop the sample and do the insemination. So I'm just going to set that on the table for now. And here is this little cardboard tray that I was talking about on top of the tank. Again, you can set that aside. So the tank itself is, like I said earlier, quite heavy. It's about 25 pounds. You can take it out of the box, or you can leave it in the box while you do all the things that you need to do with it. It's probably just as easy to leave it in the box. There's really no need to take it out. First thing you want to do is cut the tie wrap that Zytex uses to attach the lid to the tank so that it's secure for when it arrives at your house. Basically, the tie wrap looks like this. It's a little blue thing that you just can cut off. So there's that. Next thing you want to do is put on gloves. The tank comes with liquid nitrogen, and you will see some vapor at the top when you lift off the lid. Nothing to be concerned about, just if you see the vapor, that means that the tank is working and your unit is been stored properly. This tank will remain frozen and the sample in there remain frozen for 7 days. So you don't want to expose this to room temperature unless you absolutely have to, and until you're ready to do your insemination. You do want to check that this vial in here is what is on your packing slip. So let's try and do that now. So basically you're going to lift the lid straight up. You don't need to twist it or turn it. It just comes up, and there is that nice vapor that I was talking about. So the unit is nice and frozen. I'm just going to set the lid aside. You really don't want to touch the inside of the tank. You will see a little metal lifter, and you'll see a canister I'm gonna put this down, and a cane with the unit. If you can do this low into the tank, look at the donor number, verify it, verify that the lot number is what you're looking for, then you can put the lid back on. At this point, you are ready to do your thawing of the unit in order to do your insemination. So make sure you're in a comfortable spot. If you have a partner that's helping you, this is when they can come and be involved. And you're going to keep your gloves on, and we're going to start the process of thawing. So first thing you want to do is, again, take off the lid. You'll see the vapor, and then you're going to lift the cane out and get your unit. You'll see how much vapor there is. This is incredibly cold, which is why I've got these gloves on. You're going to take the unit off of that cane like that, and then you can pop that metal cane right back into the tank. This unit I will put upright onto my paper towels, and that'll just thaw for about 5 minutes according to the instructions, and you will see a little bit of condensation. Okay, so while you're waiting, you can put the lid back on the tank and close up your box. And at this point, you could put the FedEx labels back on, but basically that box is ready to go. So 5 minutes goes by, there's a little bit of condensation. I don't really need my gloves at this point. I can take those off and put them aside. You could get your syringe ready. So again, this is a needleless syringe. It's used to both draw up the sample that's in the vial and also to do the insemination. Sometimes syringes are sticky, so I like to pull back and do this kind of motion a couple of times, maybe twist it, just so it's not stiff when you're actually trying to draw up the unit. And then you can just put it back in that sterile packaging and leave it until you're ready to draw up the sample. After 5 minutes, you want to take the sample, and by the way, this is not a real sample. This is just something that we've mocked up for this video. You are going to untwist the top of the vial, and you'll see like a little bit of frost there and condensation. So you just leave that to thaw for 25 to 30 minutes. And once it's thawed, you need to use this vial within 30 to 45 minutes. So before you do any of this, you really need to be ready with your location of where you're going to do your insemination. So once it's thawed, and again, this is fictitious and it's still frozen, so I won't actually be able to draw anything up, but you take the lid off. You don't want to invert it. Just take the lid off, put in your syringe and draw up the contents of the vial, and you are ready to inseminate. For actual instructions on how to inseminate, please consult your physician or your medical provider, and wish you the very best, and we thank you for choosing Zytec.